Yeah, it's Allie, and welcome to SommAllie. If you're new, I started this channel because I want to take a little adventure, a wine adventure, and I ask you to join along with me. And if you're not new, welcome back, and let's get into it and uncork. This week, we will be tasting the 2018 Santo Assyrtiko Santorini from Greece. Hence the "ya" when I first started, because that is an informal way that they say hello, hi in Greece. Assyrtiko is an indigenous grape of Santorini in Greece. And this particular bottle says that it is 14 months on lees. Ooh, I like that. Look at that. That's so cool. It says, I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see it, and it's in Greek. So, yeah, I'm assuming that it's like some kind of bin number, and then it must be the governing body of wine in Greece, because they are very similar to France. They actually took their guidelines from France. Sorry, I got totally distracted by the top of that bottle. I think that's so cool. It's just sealed for your pleasure. Okay. Moving on. So let's uncork it. On the bottle, you will see the vine. So that little emblem on the bottom of the bottle right here is the way that the grapes are grown in Santorini, because they don't get a lot of rainfall in Greece. So all of the moisture that the grapes get is from the sea air. That little shape that they have on the bottle, that is the way that they form the vines to protect the grapes and the vines, because they have harsh winds. It's very windy. That protects the grape. It's like a little basket, and it keeps the vine and the grape protected. Let's give this a pour, shall we? Okay, I'm gonna let it sit. It's actually been out for a little bit, because I'm learning that my fridge, I got a new fridge, and it's super duper cold, so the wines get really cold. And like I said a couple of episodes back, there is such a thing as having a wine that's too cold. Let's take a look at this wine. It's a nice pale yellow, but it's super cold, so I'm gonna give it a swirl. You know, I like to swirl. Give it that swirl. And again, give it a sniff. It smells salty, which makes sense because of, it's, like I said, it's an island, the sea air, the sea, period. The sea air and the sea. So yeah, it smells like rock salt right now. I think it's still a little too cold, so I'm gonna let it sit for a second. The wine on the bottle says that it is aged for 14 months on its lees. These grapes are picked, they're harvested, and actually they just started harvest. I think they just started harvest like a day or two ago in Greece at this particular winery. So yay for them, and I hope they have a fantastic harvest, and looking forward to the 2020 Assyrtiko. Assyrtiko wine. These are the dead yeast cells that are left over from fermentation that sit in the vat with the wine, and it all matures together. Some people stir the lees and some people do not. The lees add structure, texture, body, flavor to the wine, like a yeasty flavor, like biscuit, bread, things of that nature. This is sat for a while and it doesn't feel as cold anymore, and the glass isn't frosty. So I'm gonna give it another sniff and see what we smell. It's so wild, like it smells like the sea. Another thing about Santorini, the terrain is volcanic ash, so that also adds to the flavor of the wine. It's also a protector of the grapes and the vines as well, the soil, that kind of soil. It will help guard off any bacteria to the grapes. So that's probably why Greece has, their vines are some of the oldest in the world. I smell a lot of minerality, like a lot of minerality. I do smell a little pineapple, so I'm hoping like that's not the only thing that's in this wine, but let's give it a little taste. Minerality. We knew that because you could smell it. Like you can smell the sea. Yeah, this is very terrain driven. You know how like some wines can be very fruit forward? This is very terrain driven. I get Meyer lemon, pineapple. There's some kind of herb, but I can't place it. But it's like, you know, the secondary note. It's some kind of herbaceousness. It's really interesting. It's medium bodied. It's dry. It has nice acidity. Great minerality. This would be so yummy, definitely with seafood. Definitely, like crab, lobster, things like that. I have a recipe for a crab fritter. I think I'm gonna try and make that because this would be really, really good with that. It's got some weight to it. It has that minerality. It's got that saltiness to it, which, you know, when in doubt, add a little bit of salt to something to hype up those flavors. It's really, really nice. It's got that volcanic ash. That terrain, you can really taste it. You can really taste the sea. You can really taste the citrus. Now I can smell it. I smell a little pineapple now as well. This winery, everything is done by hand. From the sowing of the land, the pruning of the vines, and the harvesting of the grapes. Every single thing is done by hand, so they take a lot of care in what they're doing, and it shows. This wine is actually suitable for vegans and vegetarians, but I thought that was a really cool little trivia on this wine. So all my vegan friends, you could definitely pick up this wine and try something new. This wine, I'm wondering if this wine would be really good with pizza, because I mean, you know, Greek tomatoes, oil, all that good stuff. Let's see if that, I'm gonna check it out. This would be great if you were going to the beach. You pack it in your little bag. Just like brings you to the ocean. I really like this. I'm glad that I have started this whole little journey of branching out and trying new wines, new grapes that I've never had before. This particular wine retails for about $22. And if you like dry, medium wines with minerality, acidity, with some citrus, I don't see why you wouldn't like this wine. It's very drinkable. It's nice and balanced. It's got, nice acidity. It's got minerality. It's got, that little saltiness. It's got citrus, the sweet like pineapple. I can smell it. Oh my goodness, yes. Oh, what was that? It's like raisins or something. So good. This is gonna swing me into my sommelier tip of the week. This is perfect because it's an affordable wine. Like I said, it's $22, and it says that these wines will age and get better over time. So this actually would be a really great gift wine because, when you're gifting a wine, you have no idea when the person is going to drink it. And some wines are just great young. And some wines are great as you age them. This one could actually sit for a little bit. It could, age for a couple of years and be very nice. So when you find a wine that is like that is very drinkable, very yummy, you should give it up as a gift because, like I said before, you don't know when the person is going to drink it. And they could, say you gave it as a gift and, somebody was like, Assyrtiko, like, I ain't never heard of that. I don't want to drink that. So they let it, sit and sit and sit. And then finally you're like, we ain't got no wine. We got this Assyrtiko that somebody gave us. And so let's just drink it. And they're going to taste it and they'll be like, oh my God, this is delicious. Hello, you need to get this and give this as a gift because it just gets better. You're welcome for my sommelier tip. You're welcome. Oh. You're welcome. Until next week, drink wine, enjoy wine, and love wine. Cheers. This week, I wanted to take a moment of silence. My uncle passed away, so I want to remember him, Curtis Bazemore, and also this week is the 75th anniversary of the atomic bombing of Hiroshima, and I think that's important that we remember those things and we remember the people who are important to us. Thank you again so much for joining me this week. I hope to see you next week where we'll try some more delicious wine. But until then, I really appreciate you taking your time out of your day and spending it with me and drinking some wine. And let's just take a moment to reflect on the important people in our lives and also reflect on the men, the women, and the children of Japan who died and who suffered so much 75 years ago.